Gorillas are peaceful creatures, rarely attacking without cause. Nevertheless, even such large predators as bears are afraid of them. Apparently, huge fangs, steel muscles, and remarkable agility for their size make themselves felt. In fact, no sane animal wants to mess with these giant apes. In this episode, you'll find out and see why this is so. Let's go! Gorilla. Everyone has heard about these creatures that live exclusively in Africa. Overgrown primates surprise people with their size and physical abilities. Curiously enough, the gorilla's DNA is 98% similar to that of humans. At the same time, the primates are hardly stronger than humans by just a measly 2%. They're capable of carrying various objects weighing 1,760 pounds, as well as jumping 5 feet in length and height. But don't imagine now that such an overgrown ape flies into people's homes, crushes everything left and right, feeds on humans or some other animals, and all that sort of thing. Not at all. The gorilla is mostly not looking for any trouble, and it feeds mostly on plants. However, such a creature must consume about 66 pounds of food daily, and in this case it will not live on grass alone, no matter how one would want to. In addition to the extreme strength I've already told you, gorillas also do not fail in terms of mental development. For example, there are primates that have truly learned human body language and can talk to people with their gestures. They can understand jokes, make jokes, and talk. However, gorillas communicate with each other by sounds. According to scientists, these great apes have a total of 22 studied sounds. In short, they're people of the animal world. They can even walk on their 2 hind limbs if the situation demands it. By the way, did you know that there are only 2 kinds of primates in the world that lean not on the whole palm but on their fists for movement? These are gorillas and chimpanzees. As soon as the gorilla and its family are threatened in any way, as many of you have seen in movies, it starts beating its chest. In this way, the animal shows its aggressive attitude to the opponent. And if the opponent runs away after that, the gorilla will follow, catch up, and bite. Many people have now said to themselves, okay, you can't run away from gorillas, I'll remember that. What else you should know is that you shouldn't look them in the eyes. They take that action as a challenge. And one more interesting fact, since such cases of attacks do not occur often, and the gorilla still mainly eats plants, these animals may not have enough salts. They solve this problem in a very original way. Gorillas eat dirt. And one last thing about their attacks. If this animal decides to attack somebody and cause harm, tell this poor thing that such an atrocity will not go unpunished. In any case, the investigation will be able to figure out which gorilla did it. The fact is that these animals, just like humans, have unique fingerprints. Gorilla fight. Animals don't always attack only those who are not their congeners, do they? Sometimes there are internal conflicts. That's exactly what happened in this video, which started out quite calm and harmless. 2 gorillas were walking around their territory in the zoo when suddenly something got into one of them. Either it didn't like how fast the other one ran by, or they had some sort of territory issues. Either way, something clearly didn't go according to plan, and one of the gorillas literally flew into the other. I'm sure if it had been a human or some lighter creature, they would have been knocked down in a heartbeat. Nevertheless, no matter how dangerously the fight started, it ended peacefully. Gorilla versus bear. That's how you could call a new movie, because the title is really epic and promising. Basically, so is the fight between these crazy strong animals. Well, to find out which of the animals will come out victorious, I suggest a little speculation. So we've already talked about the gorilla today, so let's go straight to the bear. The body length of the bear can reach 6.5 to 10 feet, and its weight can be as high as 1,320 pounds. Let me say right away that I'm talking about the brown bear. These predators are omnivores and can eat grass as well as someone's flesh. But why am I even talking about it? It seems to me that many of you have long since come to a conclusion about the winner. It's strange to compare a 1,320-pound bear to a 440-pound primate. It makes sense that the primate would have an extremely small chance. But what if these animals were competing in an equal weight class? It seems to me that in that case, the victory would depend solely on the motivation and spirit of the animals. Gorillas are peace-loving animals, and despite their physical strength, try to avoid a fight by chasing away outsiders with a threatening demeanor. Bears can be fearful, and it's quite possible that when confronted with an animal of equal size, which is also making loud noises, a bear will retreat without even trying to overpower its opponent. In this case, it would be possible to award victory to the large primate. However, if a battle were to take place, the brown bear would most likely be the winner. The claws, teeth, and strength of the bear would be decisive. Plus, it's a predator capable of finishing off the offender, which is not the case with the gorilla, which is peaceful enough. Although I said that gorillas are peaceful and not particularly eager to attack humans, this video is proof to the contrary. It shows a large ape throwing a poor reporter to the ground and playfully trying to beat him. It's got his hands all over him and jumped on him. Check out that gorilla somersault. In my opinion, the presidents of fight promotions should definitely make this primate an offer. With such an attitude, the gorilla will win literally every fight. Ah yes, it's important to say the reporter was fine. After all, he had a little fun with the gorilla and they were separated. Everyone sorts out relationships. Gorillas are no exception in this case. They do it in a similar, slightly hysterical way. They yell at each other like crazy and run straight through. I wonder what could have caused such behavior in this case. Do you have any ideas? Another gorilla fight. Another gorilla fight took place in another wildlife sanctuary. This time the cause is not even close to known. Somehow, all of a sudden, an unreal scuffle broke out between two primates, which provoked another one of its congeners to enter the fray. At first, I thought that the third primate was trying to break up the first two, but then it turned out that it was kind of on the side of one of the brawlers. The place of the battle gradually changed, and at one point the primate was pushed from a rather great height altogether. Thankfully, that didn't stop it from landing gently and continuing to retreat. Nevertheless, the instigator of the fight was still on the offensive and was waiting for a moment to attack its offender. I wonder what could have happened between the two gorillas in the first place. Write your guesses in the comments. And in this video, there was a real primate fight. To be honest, I didn't understand which gorilla started the fight or what it was all about. All I can see is one of the primates throwing the other one over the wooden beam. And all the other primates that were nearby reacted instantly to this action. The gorillas immediately weave into one tangle, like snakes, and it becomes unreal for us to understand what was there. However, as soon as the largest male enters the fray, the end doesn't take long to wait. After a little running around and shouting, all the gorillas in the cabin calmed down and went to their corners. They checked to see if anyone had scratched them and went on with their quiet lives. And this is another monkey fight, but this time there was much less confusion. The two monkeys encountered somewhere in the mountain, and instead of the usual hugs, one of them, for some reason, attacked the other with its fists. The latter, in turn, was not confused and hit back. The offender calmed down for a while and was ready to forgive its past offenses, but the touched monkey continued to shout and rage. The relatives of both gorillas stood on both sides of the participants of the skirmish and seemed to be trying to separate them. But the tension and passions were so heated that it was impossible to avoid a second battle. Nevertheless, it didn't last long either, and very soon ended in a truce. That's wildlife. I think these words are forever etched in the minds of the jungle visitors in this video. A group of tourists had come to see wildlife, and in particular, they were interested in the great apes. The visitors were lucky enough to encounter gorillas, but in turn, they didn't take the encounter for something good. On the contrary, the animals wanted solitude. They wanted to drive away the intruders. One of the monkeys decided to pretend to attack, but the people were more cunning and simply froze in place. After standing and thinking about what to do next, the gorilla came up with a new, excellent plan. It pretended to retreat, and at the last moment grabbed the woman by her pants and dragged her into the thick of the forest. Of course, the guide of tourists quickly stopped this trick on the part of the animal, but the gorilla definitely frayed their nerves. In any case, all ended well. The gorillas were finally left alone, and the people got lifetime memories and great pictures for their collection. That's all, guys. Which gorilla fight did you like the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.